Welcome, everyone, to today's podcast. I'm your host, and I'm thrilled to be joined by my co host, who is always full of insightful questions and engaging stories. Today, we're diving into a topic that resonates with so many of us: taking opportunities even if you feel like an imposter. So, let's get started.
Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. I think this topic is really important because so many of us, no matter how successful we are, can feel like we don't belong or aren't good enough. So, how do we start understanding and dealing with imposter syndrome?
That's a great question. Imposter syndrome is this feeling of self doubt, where you believe you're not as competent as others think you are. It's incredibly common, especially in high achieving individuals. For example, even the legendary actor Tom Hanks has admitted to feeling like an imposter at times. The key is recognizing that these feelings are normal and manageable. What do you think are some of the first steps to addressing imposter syndrome?
Hmm, I think the first step is acknowledging that you're not alone. So many people feel this way, and it's a sign of your ambition and growth. But how do we actually recognize these feelings and start to work through them? For instance, when I was starting my first big project, like I was in over my head, what helped me was talking to someone I trusted and getting their perspective.
Absolutely. Talking to someone can be incredibly validating. Another key step is recognizing opportunities. Often, when we feel like imposters, we miss out on chances to grow and succeed. So let's take the example of J.K. Rowling. She faced numerous rejections but kept pushing forward. How can we train ourselves to see opportunities even when we feel unsure?
Um, I think one way is to break down the opportunity into smaller, manageable steps. For example, if you're invited to speak at a conference but feel unprepared, you can start by researching, writing an outline, and practicing in front of a small group. This helps build confidence and shows that you're capable of more than you think. What are some other practical tips for recognizing and seizing opportunities?
Great point. Another powerful tool is positive self talk. It's about replacing negative thoughts with affirmations. For instance, instead of saying, I'm not good enough, you can say, I am capable and I will learn as I go. This shift in mindset can make a huge difference. How do you think positive self talk can be integrated into daily life?
I think it's all about consistency. You can start with a daily ritual, like writing down 3 things you're proud of each day. This helps build a habit of recognizing your achievements. And it's not just about big wins, even small accomplishments count. Have you seen any real world examples of how positive self talk has changed someone's life?
Absolutely. I once worked with a young entrepreneur who was terrified of public speaking. She started with positive affirmations before each presentation and gradually built her confidence. Within a year, she was giving keynote speeches at major events. Networking and building connections are also crucial. For example, Elon Musk didn't build Tesla and SpaceX in a vacuum. He surrounded himself with people who believed in his vision. How can we use networking to overcome imposter syndrome?
Networking can be scary, but it's all about finding the right people who support and inspire you. One way to do this is by joining groups or communities that align with your interests. For example, if you're a tech entrepreneur, attending tech meetups can help you meet like-minded people. And don't be afraid to ask for help or advice. Sometimes a simple conversation can open doors you never knew existed. What are some other ways to build a supportive network?
Another important aspect is learning from failures. Every successful person has faced setbacks, but it's how they respond that sets them apart. Take Thomas Edison, for instance. He failed over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. Each failure taught him something valuable. How can we reframe failure as a learning opportunity?
I think it's about shifting your perspective. Instead of seeing failure as a dead end, view it as a stepping stone. For example, when I first started my blog, I got very few readers. But instead of giving up, I analyzed what wasn't working and made changes. Now it's a thriving platform. What are some practical steps for turning failure into success?
One step is setting realistic goals. It's important to have big dreams, but breaking them down into achievable milestones can make the journey less daunting. For example, if your goal is to write a book, start by writing a page a day. This builds momentum and keeps you moving forward. How do you think realistic goal setting can help with imposter syndrome?
I think it helps a lot because it gives you a clear path and a sense of progress. It's easier to feel confident when you see tangible results. And it's not just about the end goal, it's about enjoying the journey and learning along the way. What are some other ways to set and achieve realistic goals?
Another powerful strategy is seeking mentorship. Having a mentor can provide guidance, support, and a different perspective. For example, Oprah Winfrey credits her success to the mentorship of Quincy Jones. How can we find and build a mentor mentee relationship?
Finding a mentor can start with identifying someone whose career you admire. You can reach out to them, share your goals, and ask for advice. It's important to be respectful of their time and to offer value in return, whether it's through collaboration or simply being a great listener. What are some other tips for building a successful mentorship?
Balancing confidence and humility is also key. It's important to believe in yourself while remaining open to feedback and learning. For example, Steve Jobs was known for his confidence, but he also valued the input of his team. How do you think we can maintain this balance?
I think it's about being aware of your strengths and weaknesses. Celebrate your strengths while acknowledging areas for improvement. And it's okay to ask for help. For example, if you're great at writing but struggle with public speaking, seek out a coach or practice with a supportive group. What are some other ways to maintain this balance?
Lastly, embracing continuous learning is crucial. The world is always changing, and staying curious keeps you adaptable and relevant. For example, Bill Gates is known for his love of reading and learning new things. How can we cultivate a mindset of continuous learning?
I think it starts with making learning a priority. Whether it's reading a book, taking an online course, or attending a workshop, there are endless opportunities to grow. And don't forget to celebrate your small wins along the way. Each new skill or piece of knowledge is a step forward. What are some final thoughts on celebrating small wins?
Celebrating small wins is incredibly important because it builds momentum and keeps you motivated. For example, if you've been working on a project for months, take a moment to celebrate when you hit key milestones. It's about recognizing your progress and giving yourself credit. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in today. We hope you found this discussion helpful and inspiring. Until next time, keep seizing those opportunities.
Thanks for having me. And thank you, listeners, for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review. We'll be back with more insights and stories. Take care and keep shining.